Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me. Looks like you can. Sorry, kind of just scrambling. It's one of those mornings. It's like, oh, gotta get everything done. Um, sorry. Uh-oh, I'm almost out of coffee. I thought I had more coffee. Trying to do multiple things, all that multitasking. Uh, anyway, welcome Monday the 23rd. Can't believe it's already over. This time next week it will be a holiday, right? It'll be Memorial Day weekend. You know, the day that gas prices are supposed to go higher. Not like they're not high enough already, but yeah. Fun, fun, and more fun. So the weekend provided some decent movement going into today. I would say, nothing was really necessarily earth shattering as far as news goes, although Biden this morning is really trying to throw like you know, trying to throw some fun and excitement into everything that he does. 1 minute we're letting China off the hook, and even though they have not lived up to their end of with their agreed upon bargains, the reasons why we put the tariffs on in the first place, um, magically now we're talking about just letting them reducing the tariffs, right? And again, problem is not solved, but the whole idea is if we reduce tariffs, it'll lower inflation, and then we can go for votes. But you know, it's one of those things. A couple of different people have questioned whether or not that would really change too much. And it's going back to kind of the true factors of what's driving inflation. And it's not. Unfortunately, the prices of goods and services right now, it's not the tariffs that are. They're not considered the main reason why things have gotten out of control. So it's nice to say that that would help a little bit, maybe a little bit, but the reality is not so much. Um, Anyway, Nero's going for number due on the third victory, right? So everybody needs to make sure they go in big today. Nero's is getting away with some easy wins here, and he's going for number three on this one. So Debbie better, Debbie better be on the watch out because Nero's on a warpath. He's just rallying. Um, so as far as the last 24 hours, obviously a lot of movement. Dollar Swiss is down again. Biden saying that we're going to use military force to defend one of China's islands, and whether they're autonomous or not autonomous, it's according to the UN and according to every country in the world minus 15 tiny little tiny small countries. Taiwan is technically China's. So, yeah, if we're going to get engaged in a civil war, not the brightest thing in the world to say. Um, but yeah, dollar Swiss is now almost leading the pack. But again, on a percentage basis, dollar Swiss down 81 is a large amount. So um, that's a good thing. Or that just means that again the Swiss is getting back to kind of what it's supposed to be, right? That neutrality thing. It's what it's supposed to be. Again, they kind of got political and got away from that, and I think it hurt the country a bit. But again, bringing them back to that, that's what they should be, right? Um, you know, just whatever. It's what they should be. Um, anyway, so yeah, so tariffs, protecting militarily, protecting Taiwan. Again, not even a sovereign nation. We have no embassy there. Yeah, Trump got in a lot of trouble because Trump called them and broke like a 20-year thing, and now Biden's like, yeah, we'll send ships. We'll protect them. We'll put our soldiers at harm. It's like, oh, so yeah. Also, ruble is surging again. Ruble is higher than it's been in the last 8 or 9 years. So the complete destruction of Russia has not officially occurred. Um, they are also, Russia is also not necessarily as happy with that because that makes exports, or it makes trading a little bit harder when your currency is expensive. Many people would think it'd be the other way around. It's like, oh my God, our currency is not worth anything. It's junk. It's like, well, not really, because when it's junk, people buy cheap stuff from you. Right now, getting to be expensive. So, yeah, that's coming into play as well. And besides that, I mean, again, things like this, Asian FX slightly weaker on inflation, global worries. Yeah, I mean, that's the same. We've been hearing that for I don't know how many months now in a row, right? That's not anything new. So, um, besides that, not really much. Reserve Bank, obviously, New Zealand is raising their interest rates again. Obviously, China's pissed off at the comments. I mean, if you understand the personality and things like that, then it makes complete sense why. They're big in, obviously Russia is a complete ego thing, right? Where China is it's more of a respect and a face thing. You know, a country that, when they're looking at as we have how many more people than you, and we have our goal is to be the leading authority or in the world to be the next world power. You're not going to tell us what we can and cannot do with our own country. So, yeah. So obviously they are pissed off. What did he say? Just the U.S. should not defend Taiwan independence. I love it. Similar story as Ukraine doesn't want to see an expansion by Russia. By far, the biggest players are currently snapped abroad. Yeah. So yeah, we're not making any friends. Biden is currently over in India, or I guess on his way back from India, maybe. Trying to rally the India support. They're not necessarily having it. So basically, right now, the Middle East is not happy with us and kind of annoyed at us, and you know not hurting Russia. We have India, again, a lot of people not necessarily on our side. China, obviously not on our side. So yeah, so a couple of the largest influences in the world, as far as food, people, oil, all very anti-US. So we're making friends in all the right places. And yeah, way to go. Tomorrow morning, we got a lot of news. We got a lot of the manufacturing, a lot of the PMI numbers, right? The manufacturing services PMI. They're expected to be decent. Pound ones are supposed to be lower. US ones obviously lower. Um, they're all just a little bit lower, but all of them are not. I don't think any of them are really in striking distance of that 50 mark. Remember, 50 is the really big one that you're kind of watching out for. Um, again, the reason why 50 is big is it's considered economic contraction, not expansion. And really, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit misleading, but we will get them. It will move things around tomorrow, particularly in the European session. Particularly any news out of, particularly any news out of, what's it called? Germany. Okay. German manufacturing tends to be one of those ones it's kind of I don't want to say hot button, but for lack of a better word, it is kind of the hot button right now. Again, it is the driving factor in the European economy, and it could really tank this thing very, very fast. So, yeah. That's just again, it's a super early morning for me. I know it's late night for other people, but it's not the idea. It's not the most fun time to be trading it. We do have Pal speaking tomorrow as well. Right when we're coming on, so there is that as well. But yeah, besides that, that's it. I mean, like I said, it's a kind of a slow start, and remember, it is a holiday week. The markets will get a little bit weird on Friday, right? Um, they'll get weird on Friday just because. I mean, think about it. You know, everybody's been waiting for a holiday for so long, right? The weather's been bad. It's just everything's been nuts, right? So with that, you know, it's a holiday weekend. You gotta love it. So yeah, all right. So let's go over into charts. Besides that, like really not much else over there. So let's start off with Aussie dollar. Let's go to 30 minutes. So basically, coming back from last week, we talked about buying at 70. We missed 70 by just a little bit. It made it down to 70.04. Actually, the lowest, yeah, 70.04. So I missed it by 4 pips for that reversal. Again, was really kind of bouncing back. We did base and finally broke through the top side. And again, you can see the number of hits here, right? Basically, one or two here, one here. It hit it and kind of base right below. You're like, yep, it's breaking, and it did. And it didn't really give us a Harry Potter. It kind of got close, but it's just kind of pushing around that area now. So, we can room this level. We did go up and tag this 71.27 again, level from last week. It's been touched, and that's what we're rolling off of. I think it's actually a decent roll. We more or less saw a lot of weakness in the overnight with the dollar, and justifiably so. Now I think we got a little bit more room to kind of push this one down. Now, there is an area that I am kind of watching. Again, this level of basing here, it is kind of Sunday night basing, so it's not really my most favored kind of basing levels, right? There's where the level is. There we've kind of hit it. I would say right now, if we look for a confirmation below it, there is a little bit in here too, but this is like super late, like late night last night, so not one of those things where like, oh, that's big, that's big. It's not one of those things. So I would say there is a potential short coming in here, looking at a break through that level right here. And this would come down to 1 to 3, which is right there. Okay. Now I'm going to throw an alert on this one. This was playoff weekend. It didn't turn out how we had planned. Um, I'll explain in a second. HP short. Oops, short. Um, yeah, we get there and there's an official from like the league that wants to do a roster check on all my players. I was like, okay. So we literally had to line up in our entire team of players and they wanted to check them all off. Now I had kids not registered. Again, when we did the original one, I said there's still people entering, and he said no problem, just certify this and we can always add them later. And then I never heard back from him, so I just assumed that the kids had registered. Like the parents all had the links. They all got the links at the same time. But I had like 6 or 7 kids that weren't registered. Now, I had already played this other team once. They knew I had like 30 kids, and I've carried the same roster all year. Like I have literally have not added a single kid. I've carried the same roster in both leagues all year. Um, and they wanted to call us out, so they ate up our entire warm ups. I was like, this is some playground schoolyard BS, right? And we ended up losing. They basically capitalized our mistakes. We sliced through them multiple times, but I was like, I'm like, you robbed us of a warm up. It's like 98 degrees outside. We're under heat warnings, and you're pulling this, playground stuff. And then they ended up winning the entire thing yesterday. They beat a team that I have no idea how they beat. The other team is so much better. So I'm wondering if they did some more stuff. But anyway, now that I have more time, I'm going to try to get back in and start setting more alerts. I'm getting more, I would almost say like a lot of free time, but I'm getting much more free time because, again, I don't have 2 games every weekend, and now it's just tournaments. So there'll be 3 weekends I don't have a voice, but otherwise, I'm going to try to get here and start setting some more alerts. Anyway, downside target on this one, if you are short or when you're getting short, obviously it's going to be placed right here. Um, that's where you'd be looking to take it. I can tell you right now, it's not straight. It's close. It's close. There we go. I knew it was close. That's where your overall profit target will be coming in. So like this one again, we got to get through this opening time frame. Maybe it hits this level and goes higher again, but when it breaks, then we're looking for that Harry Potter trade south. Also, again, we hit it last week. We talked about this when it blew down, and again, it went much, much lower. It blew right past the profit target, and again, I'm fine with that one. Remember, the profit targets are meant to be conservative areas where you're looking to get out before sellers are blatantly obvious. And interesting enough, it hit it again and ended up coming through, although it did break a little off the top late last night as well. Um, so now we don't need this level anymore. It has been chopped through. It looks like it rolled right off the top, and I'm a little bit late on setting this one, but it did look like it. Again, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock this morning for the European Open. It did kind of push back down. I'd say right now, this one, I mean, I'm kind of in the same thing. Like, I don't, it's not necessarily an area where I'm looking to say, hey, listen, this is a great short. It doesn't really have the same basing level that the Aussie dollar did, but it's kind of the same trade. It's kind of the same reversal on there. Now, the yen's going to be kind of in a weird position. Again, with China aggression and things like that, Japan's like, oh, we need safety as well, and we're going to increase our military presence. And again, that kind of brings a whole host of other things in. They're not allowed to have an offensive military force. They can have a defensive one, but it's for their island defense. I don't think Taiwan is considered, like, if you branch out to protect Taiwan, I don't believe that that's considered legal. I mean, I guess they can, I don't know. I guess they can change that, but then it's kind of like, well, I don't know. I really don't know what that breach is considered. Like, who would even back that one up? So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, obviously, a heightened sense of issue over there is a problem. But again, a new trade deal. Again, there is an Asian Pacific trade deal that is being signed. It's like basically like 40 different Asian nations. Um, Again, that should be a little bit of a boom. So again, any type of weakness in the Aussie, like we're seeing the Aussie dollar, the Aussie yen should continue. Don't really have a whole lot of love on the downside. I mean, there's a bunch of pushes in here, but no real base, no real base, no real base, no real base. I guess there's a little bit of a base there. I'd say what happens here is probably the only thing that I'm worried about. There's a little one here too, and it's already kind of come off of it, just based off the wicks. Look at those wicks, right? But again, push pretty deep. So I would say those are probably two areas where if you are short, you may want to look to get profit on that one. Um, Again, somewhere 90.18 would be where I'm looking to get profit before buyers step in. And again, a second level, and again, we may look for a reversal when there's a better setup, but there's nothing for today. Euro pound. So we had an alert trigger. Obviously, that is not a confirmation that we want for Harry Potter. So I re-enabled the alert. I sent a picture of this one on there. I'm going to try to get better of updating that channel as well. Trying to start now that I'm, again, not that I have tons of free time. I'm trying to start getting more kind of this was obviously a very busy season. I'm going to try to get more of these alerts and more of these things updated regularly. So again, re-enabled picture. It was no entry in there and exploded literally off that entry. And again, it was at this level at the European session, so it shot it back up. It ran into the upper level that we had talked about aggressively. It was confirmed multiple times and has now pushed. I'm curious to see where this one rolls tomorrow, but I would say right now this is basically a parabolic move. Looking for it to collapse. I don't even know if there's no, there's not really even like a base in there that we can use, but I think this one comes back down again. How much space is it? About 30 more pips to go. I mean, really, the trade would have been from up top at about 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get in this one. I missed it. I saw the alert go off. I heard it, but I was like half asleep, and I was like, no, I'm not waking up. And then again, had I seen this, then this is yeah. I mean, it's a confirmed level that we had drawn from last week. So hopefully, some of you guys got in, guys and girls. If you did, you were up about 25 in it already. So again, probably approaching that 1 to 3 target. Let's see. How much more do you got to go? One right there. So it looks like that's 1,304. So yeah, so it looks like you were already out. So yeah, it just hit your 1 to 3 from that target. So shrink that back over there. So again, maybe an opportunity for a little bit more. Euro yen. So euro yen again. There's a trade from last week. You can see that it kind of reversed off of it, but again, not really interested for that one. Again, kind of came back down. Now we're running into this one. We'll take this short off. We're at the 78.6, so we're going to remove this. We'll remove this. Remove this. Whoops. I just wanted to extend it across. Let's see. I can remove this. We know that those are there. Hmm. I'm going to leave this right here. Again, just because it's confirmed level. It is hiding behind the 61.8, so it's probably not as good, but let's mark that one off. I'll turn that into a green, right? Try to see, can I change this whole thing? Try to make it a little bit lighter so it's not as obnoxious like in your face. Yeah, it's not bad. I feel like I should change the colors of this too. I feel like instead of red for this one, I should make this one green, right? Because that's like our continuation, right? It means money, 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 money. And then the 78, that could be the red one because that's typically where we want to take it off. Something like that. I don't know. I'll have to figure out ones that I like. All right. Yeah. So same thinking. Again, strong pop up. There could be a case mid on this one and say, hey, listen, there's a new top that's put in right there. If you're looking to get short that one, we're kind of right in that level right now. It does bring some strength back into the yen. So not horrible. I think I like the Aussie yen better than this one. But again, this is a potential target for tomorrow morning if we have any disappoints on the news. So I'm kind of okay with this one being a little bit on the higher end. Okay, but again, I do think it retraces back down. A strong push off the European Open, which occurred right here. Right here is your European Open, right there. Okay. Euro dollar. Hold on one sec. Okay. All right. Uh, all right. Euro dollar. Sorry, it always happens. Oh yeah. So here's our two extensions. These are the two extension levels we ran off fibs before. You can see that this one had a little bit of a hiccup there. And again, the second extension, we literally came up and grabbed it, the 106.50. I do actually kind of like how this one is basing on the top. I think that's not horrible at all, right? So parabolic move, we can take all these off. These are all out now. Do we need this one? Yeah, we'll turn that one yellow. It based in it, so we're gonna keep that on. Pull this, pull this, pull this, pull this. There we go. there's a couple different steps in there. Hmm. Yeah, kind of same thinking for the Harry Potter. I don't know if we'll get back up there, but if we can get up there for a 1030 reversal, I think that would be not bad. Again, any shorts on this one, profit taking needs to occur actually really right before this line. Right there. Yeah. So put this on. TradingView did something. You see how that keeps flickering? It's driving me nuts. I notice it when I'm dragging things. But yeah, so I mean, again, that was a pretty interesting retrace. Again, we were talking about where this extension could go to, and it did. It came all the way back up, grabbed it, went just above it, right? But again, looking for a profit target. If it goes past your profit target, not necessarily a big deal. Pound yen. So pound yen did a bunch of chopping back and forth. Again, the 160 got tag, tag, tag. Number four broke through, kind of went up to the 60 level. It ended up punching a little bit higher. And again, it was like late last night, or actually like 2 o'clock this morning is when it started to go through it. So it's still kind of stuck there. Um, it looks like, and again, this is probably, I mean, again, you're not holding this over the weekend, but this would have been the overnight trade from it. It kind of got front run. So I'm going to remove it right now. And really, I'm going to take the fibs off as well. And it's chopped back up through. The next push is probably going to be past the 7818, so I'm not really concerned. Um, mm, this one is very sloppy on the way up. Um, hmm. So I like the top level better. I like the top level up here. Okay. Um, hmm, hmm. I like the top level better. This one I don't like as much because it got pushed in. And that's kind of why we had that piece down there for the first time of a break below. If you look at the areas here and any pullbacks, there is one here that's okay. It's all right. I mean, it does have the ascending wicks that we like, but again, it may get front run from either of these two levels, and I mean, it's 70 pips away. But um, right now, I'm not really concerned about a lot up. There's probably again aggressive traders if you're looking for something, or it's a session rollover. There is going to be a position right here. Look at the way that top. It's a one top base, and if you look to the left, you can see where it was a drop base drop on that side as well. So, um, yeah, not necessarily horrible. So I think that's pretty decent. Um, Pound dollar, we ended up hovering around. Let's pull that. You can see this one came up and just ground into it, pulled back, base, base, base. So it's stuck. So again, not in hours that we're looking to really do much with. Um, there's news. Let's pull this up. Uh, don't necessarily love any of these. Let's see. There could be a case made there, but that's about it. Um, yeah, really, right now, I'd say wait. I'd like to see what it does up here at 126.16. Again, you can see the base that it was formed in. It was a top, and then boom, it kind of slammed back down again. Um, yeah, I'd like to see 126.16 for anything. And again, this would be one of those ones, not necessarily a trade entry, but have an alert pop up on you. Set this one kind of in this range and see kind of what when it hits. I mean, it is a dollar based pair. It is 10 o'clock, so I mean, a little bit push further. We have been talking about that dollar reversal and kind of getting some dollar strength coming in. So there is something to be said about it. Um, yeah, I just don't like any of the rest of this in here. And I'm looking at the 50 one and wondering, like, hey, listen, do we use this kind of level behind? It was pushed to the brink, right? It was pushed to the brink. Um, Yeah, it's literally pushed to the brink, but I mean, it did support it on the gap again. So I don't know. I feel like, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted this guy. 124.65. That'd be kind of where be looking to take profit on it slash potential of a reversal on it. But I think 126.16 is where we're looking for on the top on this one. Okay. Dollar CAD. All right. So dollar CAD, it keeps flirting with this 127.72. We've talked about this one. It's nothing new. And again, we are kind of stuck between the two different levels. This one obviously is getting not so much. I wouldn't say. I mean, it's really kind of flat now. Oil was up. Now oil is at 0.04, so it's kind of stuck. And then we spoke too soon. We talked about natural gas being lower, and now natural gas is the one that is up 2%. So obviously, there's been a headline in natural gas. We'll find that out in a second. Um, so yeah, I'd say again, we've been talking about dollar strength rolling back into the market. I think that's decent. It's not at a level right now, but 127.72 would be where I'm looking to take off. Profit taking on this one, I would put probably here, go a little bit extra conservative on that one. It is up about 40 pips from where we are, so not bad, but you know, eh, 128.40 is where I'd be looking to take profit on A longs. But again, it has not entered our zone. It is front runners, and it front runners by. Hold on. 2.1. 2.1. All right. So there was a 23.6 level we talked about last week, and this one tagged 2 o'clock in the afternoon and then kind of came down. And then right there was your weekend gap. So, we talked about this one. We talked about it being risky holding over the weekend. If you did hold over the weekend, you're officially out of the trade if you're still trading at 2 p.m. on Friday. Again, remember, again, I am not a proponent of holding things over the weekend. Some people don't care and they're totally cool with it. Remember, dollar Swiss over the weekend was the one that had all the problems that first time with liquidity when there was major liquidity issues. But again, the technical analysis worked fine on it. We had a supply zone where we had sellers confirmed in the past. It was a 23.6 pullback. It tagged it at 2 o'clock on a Friday, which is always like, and it ended up dropping all the way through as it should. I mean, you can see most of this push is from right here, the European session open. Also, when Biden said that he would militarily, you know, yeah, well, military defense. So again, not surprised by this one. We'll see what the PMI data looks like. Right now, if we need to do any readjustments, probably a little bit. Like this one is out. We'll take that off. If you're looking at that level, you can see that we did have some basing and then explosion through. So there could be a case made that, hey, listen, here's some basing, here's an explosion. It is a 23, so we know there was something to slow them down. It's going to require a little bit of movement, about 60 pips, so it's kind of at least one daily ATR out of space. But if we have the dollar strength come back in, it could rally right back up to that level. And I would say, if they truly have neutrality, then that's not a bad thing. And it did bounce off the 96.32. That was a level again, way back. We've talked about this level in April, and that's kind of what it bounced off this morning. So I don't need this one. Remove that, and we'll leave it there. So those are the two levels. Is there a Harry Potter in here? Kind of. There kind of is. Um, hmm. There is a little bit of a Harry Potter. Is it the perfect Harry Potter? Not the perfect one, but it's not horrible. Hmm. Do we want to? Hmm. Not a bad level. Hmm. So no, those one. I don't like how it's bouncing now. This bouncing is driving me nuts. Right there. Right. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't know if you want to set an alert on this one. This is definitely when you can set an alert. This would be a break of 96.19, heading through the bottom side. Otherwise, again, the pullback level, I think there's a potential short coming in there at 97.11 as well. Dollar yen, really just chomping back and through. We haven't been able to get that entry again. It did grab the top of that area. Like if you're going to draw a new zone from that bottom, it did grab that and take off. So I mean, for those of you that were doing, drawing it as a new level, there's the new level, and it took off and is now kind of coming back down again. I would say this is channeling lower, and again, just like the other, again, I'd like to see some dollar strength roll back in, but the yen on this one also I think is getting a little bit of strength. So, kind of kind of a weird one to trade. And again, the dollar yen has been very, very strange. Indices are kind of fluctuating back and forth. Russell was up big, and now Russell's is down. So it's amazing. Russell was, I think, did I say Russell? I believe earlier was like the strongest, and then obviously, yeah, it came off that 50. So we mentioned those. Um, let's do commodities first. So commodities talked about this level in the Nadex presentation, the 111.82. It was a 6 a.m. hit this morning. It is continuing to roll off of that one. I don't think it is done yet. It's probably pretty close, but it's not quite there yet. 1 to 3 is right there. So actually, it is. The 1 to 3 is already completed on that short from that level last week, and we mentioned this one. It was in between, but again, a pretty clear gap. It was a gap fill / gap, one candle top base, and then a huge push to the downside. So very, very easy one to grab. I think James posted about this one. I think James posted. He posted a free gas one. I'm assuming this is the same level he went off of because it was not that difficult of a grab. So I'm assuming that this is what ye old James got. Of course, I can't find it, but does he have it posted? Where is it? James has got this on a 15-minute. Oh, James did it. James did it like in here. Yeah, James did it in here. So yeah, so that's the difference between the two. James grabbed it here. Let's see. James got it here. He got it on this piece, so he kind of took more risk, I guess. He drew it. Let's see. He drew it from. He drew it from here. Oh, he drew it from. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's not the one I want to do. I want to do this one. So it looks like James drew this one. He like scalped the heck out of this one. Yeah. So James grabbed it on a 15. So he went real in early at 61.8. And what time did he do it? 8:45. So, yep. And again, it shows you there's multiple things, but we had already kind of called that level. So we called it last week. James did it this morning. Set and forget for the win. What the heck is this? Yeah, so I would say this one again continues to move down a little bit. There's a couple different areas in here. Actually, we can move. We can move the 70 on this one. I was concerned about that to the downside. Yeah, we had the Harry Potter trade, so we can get down to 107.77. Look for this one to continue to drop. I'll have to screenshot that one and be like, I see your oil trade, and we put it up there last week, James. Natural gas. So, yeah, the little reprieve that we had this morning immediately turned around when the U.S. trader got online. Amid heat waves, right? Amid heat waves. All right, let's see if we can find a headline for this one because obviously, no. I was like, there's got to be a headline prompting this one. The announcement that we would end asset purchases, yep, in the first quarter. That has now been done. The process continued. Inflation. Yes, this is normal. Buy low, sell high. The privileged crowd. Yeah, so I'm surprised. I figured there would be much more of a headline to be able to turn this, and I mean, it went off of a small level here, right? So I mean, it did go off of a level, and it did kind of balance, and I guess it did give us a little bit of a confirmation, but yeah, we can remove this now. This got blown through, obviously, gave us no pullback, none whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, I would say if I got to pick, I'm assuming that sellers aren't going to come in until 8:42, which would kind of suck because I still need to order gas. But yeah, yeah, I don't know how many of you are out there trading natural gas right now, but yeah, definitely an interesting one. Gold. So yeah, we talked about gold kind of basing out there, and it looks like that touch is going to be at 8 o'clock. We mentioned it kind of basing. I would say right now, I mean that short is out. We do have two touches, so maybe again, if we can come down here and base in that level, maybe we try Harry Potter. But this is probably the next one we're watching out for us here. Again, I don't have the wicks in there, but be there. Yeah, I don't know. I want this to stay high. I really want to be able to get short before FOMC, so I'd like for this to stay artificially high. I don't know if it's going to do it, but go, go, go. Silver is coming back down quick, though. Looks like gold is maintaining, kind of running the buyers. Silver coming back quick, and we talked about it. Again, was chopping through at that 22 level. 22 seems to be the baseline still. Um, pull this off now. We'll actually pull this, and let's clean this up a little bit. Not that I have any desire to draw a level up here, though. God, that is like, look how ugly that is. That's horrible. It's like my daughter trying to draw a straight line. Um, God, that's so bad. We don't have a confirmation here, but we're going to leave this. Man, this one is just so hard. There's so much wick in this chart. It's unbelievable. You would think that this is like a 1 minute chart, but it is not. Hmm. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this one. I like this one short. I mean, I would still say, hey, short is fine, but where does this one stop? I mean, this one should be adjusted. Let's see if I can smooth that out a little bit. No. Wishful thinking, but no, not so much. It did grab the 61.8 though, so it looks like that top was. I guess that actually was in a legitimate zone, an hourly zone anyway. Actually, let's see. Did I miss that one? Huh. I did miss that one. So yeah, that was a legitimate turn. Oops. All right, so I must have missed that one on Friday. I had that one drawn differently. So yeah, that was actually a legitimate turn this morning. So oh well, I don't catch them all. So yeah, it's a miss. VIX. Yeah, VIX doing the spike like we thought at the open. Look at the chop between those two. Let's go down to a 15-minute. Let's see. 9:30 candle. Yeah, look at this. Whip down right at the Globex low, whip right back up again, stop everybody out, whip right back down again. So, yeah, at this one, I mean, this is even more clear. I think 38.93. If we drop below that one, it's a decent sell for later on today. Right there. Again, 1 to 3 is only sitting right there. So, well within the range, right? Profit taking on this one should be before here. Actually, let me adjust this side. Right there. So there's where you're profit taking. So you got plenty of room for that one. So a break of 38.93.25. Look for that one to go short. NQ, also kind of a Harry Potter. I'd like to see an actual confirmation of it, not just a slice through. Again, just the slice in and out doesn't do anything. I want to see it base a little bit and then pull back and then looking for the push down. But that's the one we talked about in Nadex. It's already kind of there. YM is sitting in a level, and again, really just kind of fighting sideways on that one. I'm gonna take some of these out. That is out. Let's pull that. Let's pull that. That is out. Just trying to pull the old levels off. All right. Let's see. A little test right here. Okay, so it looks like 31,826, right? A base, a drop, and a pullback, so a confirmation move right there. I'm gonna leave this one yellow because again, we're still in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we're just stuck. There's no real major direction. This one, even on the 15-minute, totally flat. I would say there's a gap fill here, and again with the gap fill lower. Whoops. Again, Harry Potter opportunity here. There we go. So one setup. Again, we got a question from a person right when we were closing. I just saw it about whether we could close below 31. Right now, we got 500 points buffer. right? I mean, it's up 300 points today. So I mean, again, it's doing well, right? It's not doing bad. We'll see if it turns with everything else though. And then Russell, obviously Russell took it on the chops, and we had that drawn with Nadex. Uh, Talking about the 1800 in the overnight, again, started at 7 o'clock. It's obviously out now. This position is done. Um, Question is, can we tack on another one? And 373 is right there. Again, no confirmation yet, but again, you can see it's starting to form its base inside of that area for the Russell. Russell is now the weakest, so if things do turn ugly quickly, this is the one that's going first. And again, we mentioned that today that they should be at risk. So, um, again, I'm going to draw it over here on this candle because that's not the entry we're looking for yet. We are looking for a confirmation entry for this Harry Potter. And again, you can see 1 to 3 is there. Overall profit take targets, if you are short, should be sitting right there. Right, because again, you're running the buyers coming down. So that is a break of 1767. All right. So that's it. What do we got for Twitter? What's Twitter doing? Twitter's getting smacked around. It's funny. Twitter and Tesla's down, so I wonder what's going on with those. Wall Street best stocks largely up in pre-market. Not concerned about that one. Tesla. Tesla's not doing much either. Tesla's got some buyers down here though. Tesla's got some buyers right there, so we'll see if that one breaks. What else we got? Cryptos are turning down. Ethereum down. Looks like the meme stocks are getting beat up. Dogecoin is down on the morning, but technically up since yesterday. And TLT is TLT is like, yeah, TLT up. They're trying. They're trying. What is the VIX doing? Yeah, VIX is continuing to go up, and I thought it would, depending on what the news stories were in the morning. So we'll see. VIX is obviously increasing, but yeah, things like the YM that is continuing to move as well. And again, just so everybody's on the same page, VIX going up is not typically not an indication of it means the fear index is going up. It's not typically the indication. So yeah, there's a potential. It's the spike, so it looks like it's going to come back down a little bit. I like this Russell short. The Russell short's kind of my favorite right now. If all things are negative. Let's see, do we get any headlines? Not just her monetary policy. So, all right. So we ended up flying through today. Not much else in here. Again, dollar maintaining and holding. Yeah, we didn't miss anything. Covered everything. So it looks like we're gonna get early today. Give you guys a little bit of a reprieve. All right. So let's do the drawing. Like I said, the drawing was the biggie today. We know that Neuro is on a path. Neuro betting huge. Like I said, Neuro's been working this, man. He has gotten the ebook ready. Again, I think this will be his second triple in a row if he wins today. Like I said, there's a little resistance. Briggs is always good for playing the spoiler. Briggs is always in, right? Nakes with Ernest with 2, Sean with 1. I would say that where's Neuro, but Neuro's the one that bet big today. Where's Debbie? Is Debbie not here? Oh, Debbie's right there. I was like, wait, where the heck is Debbie? Yeah, and no Carol again this week, so hopefully Carol's doing okay. All right, let's close this sucker down. Let's see if Neuro takes it. I didn't see it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Debbie. I looked down here. I was like, "Where's Debbie?" I don't know why I jumped right over your name. So I don't know, man. I feel like I mean, Briggs is bringing it today with 3. I mean, remember, Briggs is not he's not a star. He's not a starred person, and he's got 3 sitting in there. So we'll see. Come on, bro. I'm kind of rooting for Briggs. I kind of want Briggs to play spoiler in this one because I feel like Neuro's our number 1 spoiler, and I feel like Briggs, you take that, buddy. I mean, I feel like like I feel like you got it, man. All right, winner of today's drawing is now it's Neuro. You just couldn't overcome the odds. 47% chance. Never had a coin flip chance of winning. I just wish you had more chips, man. If you had more chips. Now Debbie is like letting her this is like Debbie is like the tortoise and the hare, and she's like the tired rabbit, like watching Neuro get closer and closer and closer. Like it's just I don't know. I'm telling you, leaderboard. Let's give Neuro his 20. Look at this. Neuro is right there. I mean, talk about a heated battle, right? He jumped all over Ernest, and now he's running away from Ernest, and he's been playing this like a professional. He's like a professional. I don't want to say gambler, but he's like a professional poker player at this point, man. He is just playing the odds. I don't know. I mean, maybe he made a deal with the devil. He played the violin at the crossroads or something like that. I don't know. But between him and Will, these two have been unstoppable this year. So, and again, Will has been very strategic as well. So it's crazy, man. Look at this. The dollar's really starting to collapse now. 100 on both. What's the dollar doing now? Yeah, dollar's pushing back down again. So yeah, I guess that 1030 we were looking for that 1030 reversal in the dollar. It looks like it's struggling a little bit. But dollar week, dollar week, dollar week. There's got to be. Oh, hold on. I got to check this out. The BOP is prepared to raise rates again if needed, Billy says. COVID response hasn't stoked inflation. Look at that. Uh-huh. Says in the UK, we're facing a very big negative impact on real incomes caused by the rise in prices of things we import. Aha, this is the cost of prices. Again, this is why they need a little bit stronger of a dollar, or a stronger pound. So the headlines are rolling in. So we'll continue to get more headlines. He's probably not done yet, but yeah. So again, Bailey speaking is probably providing a little bit more. Let's see Euro pound real quick. Yeah, that Euro pound trade is out. It's officially out now. Yeah, it's officially out. 9:30 is when it took itself out. That Euro pound trade. So yeah, hopefully some of you guys got that one. And again, we'll see this one fluctuate back and forth, but not bad. All right, well that's it today. So I will catch you guys tomorrow then back on. Again, not this session, but the morning session and then the 12 noon session tomorrow. And like I said, we have a playoff game tomorrow night and Wednesday night, and then we are off until tournaments. No weekend games and no nothing else. So it's back to the normal grind. Man, it's gonna be crazy. Like yesterday, I had no lacrosse yesterday. I was like, oh my god, what would I do? This is the first time in 4 months. Or actually, no, not 4 months, since January that I haven't had a Sunday lacrosse, you know, obligation. It's awesome. Get my time back, man. So, all right. With that said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. You guys take care, and I'll see you then. Take care.